I should like to begin by expressing my deep and profound appreciation to the government of Japan, to His Excellency Prime Minister Kishida Fumio, for the demonstration of Japan's sterling leadership on an issue of critical importance to us all, for the establishment of the international group of eminent persons to help forge concrete paths towards a world without nuclear weapons. Ours is a world marked by deep divisions, by trust deficit, by renewal of latent disputes, and even of open conflict. A world of elevated risk of miscalculation and of unintended conflict. A world of where the window for rational decision-making is arguably made far more complicated and complex and even compressed as a result of new emerging technologies, hypersonic missiles, for instance, which makes for even more challenging decision-making environment. A world, therefore, marked by growing risk and not declining use of nuclear weapons. And precisely when most needed, we are seeing headwinds against diplomacy, against multilateralism, not only by unilateralist instincts and tendencies, but also by foreign policies that have become, in many cases, increasingly inward-looking, increasingly domesticated, and neglectful of multilateral commitments. As a result, we have been witness to the undermining of cooperative endeavors on issues that actually demand cooperative partnership: climate crisis, public health, sustainable development, and as well the issue of our current interests on international peace and security. With the notable and important exception of the landmark 2017 Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons, we have been witness to a scarcity of progress on nuclear disarmament and a sense of drift and a sense of neglect. In the face of such an environment, perhaps there is a need to raise awareness, to mobilize public opinion of the cost of inaction, that the status quo is unacceptable, that we are being confronted by existential risk, existential threat, that nuclear war cannot be won and must never be fought. That more of the same means more resources being devoted, being spent on an endeavor at a time when globally we are all still trying to recover from the pandemic, at a time when hundreds of millions of people live in extreme poverty. The idea that millions, billions are still being spent on nuclear armament is one that cannot be accepted by us all. There is a need to raise public stakeholders' consciousness around several themes: to promote and amplify norms against the use, proliferation, and testing of nuclear weapons, and to reduce the role of nuclear weapons in statecraft and national security. There is a need perhaps to act in concert to preserve and to reinforce existing treaties and agreements, and even more, to revitalize disarmament and arms control negotiations, to help build confidence and trust so that this issue confronting us all, a global problem requiring global response, can be addressed in an urgent and effective manner. For the International Eminent Persons Group, I believe there are some roles that the group may play. The identification of new vision and approaches, perhaps. The idea that security is a public good, one not to be earned and not to be enjoyed by one side at the expense of the other. Instead, one that must be enjoyed and be available to all for it to be sustainable. The encouragement, engagement of the broad public on issues of disarmament and nuclear non-proliferation. The group may also help perhaps mobilize the international community to revive the pursuit of nuclear disarmament. And here I think there are several promises, several potentials that the group can help promote. Further support for the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons. Support and promotion of attempts of the ratification of the Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty, especially the signature or ratification by Annex II states. And I am proud that Indonesia, as an Annex II country, had carried out its obligation, its responsibility, some decade ago now, to ratify the CTBT. Support for nuclear weapon-free zones. In Southeast Asia, for instance, we have been working diligently in trying to secure the accession by nuclear weapon states. These are some, and there are many more, current and existing nuclear non-proliferation, nuclear disarmament efforts that are deserving of further promotion. The creation of climate conducive for dialogue, for nuclear risk reductions, are again further areas for the group's contribution. I am personally humbled by the suggestion that I can make some contributions to the important work of the IEPG. Please rest assured that I shall do my level best to ensure that the confidence that had been placed on me has not been misplaced. Once again, thank you very much, and my deepest of appreciation to the government of Japan, to its Prime Minister, for their invaluable leadership in this important area for our common endeavor. Thank you.